Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Call Sadie. This morning at 7
Oh my goodness, I just had to do a Siri. I asked Siri to do something for me, remind me of something after the show, and Siri decided to go ahead and speak up right when I started here. So there you go. I need those reminders. I need that AI to kind of keep me kind of going and making sure I don't forget any appointments. Yeah, very excited. My wife, picking up my wife at the airport today. She is been gone all week long. What do you do without your wife for a week? So I'm very excited to have her back and everything back to normal around here. Well, how you doing? It's Friday. We've got some beautiful weather in store for us. It's going to be a bit on the breezy side, I think, for especially the north and west side of the valley. Parts of the mountains, some of the mountains, especially the east, could see some winds. Along the coast, especially Delaware County, northern Humboldt, could see some winds out there as well. But overall, this is not going to be a wind event by any stretch of the imagination. You'll just notice those winds kind of picking up a little bit here. Nothing unusual for this time of the year, really. But temperature-wise, beautiful. Now, the thing is, it's warm out there, but it could be a lot worse. And this is something I mentioned earlier this week. Last week, and I think even parts of this week, parts of Arizona saw temperatures over 100 degrees for the first time this year, breaking records as far as the first day they see 100 degrees for the season, for the year. We're not seeing the 90s yet, although I think it was, I forget what day it was, but I think Oroville did top out at 90 this year so far. It was just last week or so. Can't remember exactly which day it was. But for the most part, we've steered clear of the 90s. And I expect to stay that way this weekend through next week. In fact, if anything, we're going to see a dip in our temperatures near the end of next week. We're also going to be looking at a chance for some rain, even for the valley. Now, wouldn't you know, not this weekend, but that next weekend is Cool April Nights. And as we all know, it seems like Cool April Nights is this magnet for rain. So we'll see. We will see, but right now, there is that potential. This weekend, if you've got plans over the weekend, I think you're going to be fine. There are a few kinks in there for tomorrow and Sunday afternoon. But we'll take a closer look at that in your deeper dive forecast in here in a bit. First, let's go ahead and take a look at our Krueger's quick cast here to kind of get you out the door this morning so you know what to expect. And just a quick look at your forecast here for your Friday, April 18th. So here you are out the door this morning. Kids are still in spring break. Most of the kids are still in spring break. You as a parent are like, okay, I got to get to work, right? So there you go. Temperatures in the mid 50s in the valley. It looks like in the mid to upper 30s for Modoc County, the eastern mountains. So still cool there, but elsewhere in the mountains, you're generally in the 40s. And of course, the 40s for the coast as well, and plenty of sunshine out there this morning. Temperatures in the upper 40s right now, low 50s for Redding right now, 51 at the airport, 46 degrees in Chico. We've got 30 degrees in Susanville, 40 degrees for Eureka, and 43 degrees in Crescent City. Here's your satellite image here. You see the swirling area of low pressure over Utah right now. That is an area of low pressure that is going to be partially responsible for the winds that we will see. Breezy conditions that we'll see here, especially for the valley. But look at that. You're seeing snow off to our east in the mountains. Colder air. It's still that time of the year. We're not going to see any of that, of course. So we're just going to be looking at those dry conditions for the most part today, and mostly over the weekend too, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Winds right now, not that much of an issue. Some of the higher mountain peaks are seeing some gusty winds, and as we go through the morning hours, go into midday, there you can see northwest side of the valley. That's where we see the strongest winds. Even some of the foothills east of the valley and some of those mountains east of the valley could see some gusty winds as well. The coast, nothing unusual, nothing you're not used to when it comes to those breezy north winds. That continues this evening. So if you're heading out to the Red Bluff Roundup, for example, it may be breezy to start off the rodeo, but as we go into the evening and tonight, those winds will die down. So I think the rodeo will start off a little breezy, but then those winds will die down going into the evening. But there you can see Saturday morning looks pretty good. Don't have to really worry about those winds there. So there's a look at Futurecast. 8 o'clock this morning. Not much in the way of fog out there, even for the coast. Look at this through the day today. You're talking sunny skies here. And that will continue through tonight. Now, as I mentioned, by tomorrow, there's a little bit of kink in there, which we'll get into here a little bit later in our deeper dive forecast. But let's take a look at the Red Bluff Roundup forecast for the next 3 days. As I mentioned, a little breezy to start off, but should be okay by the second half of the roundup. Saturday, Sunday, these are more of the daytime events, so it will be right around 80 degrees. Plenty of sunscreen. Make sure you wear something or drink something. Drink water, right? Red Bluff Roundup for today, though. So the roundup starts at 7 o'clock this evening. So a lot of you like to try to get there about an hour early. It'll be in the upper 70s. By the time the rodeo starts, mid 70s, and then looks like, as you start getting into the depth of the rodeo, between 8 and 9, you're dropping from 71 to 64. So once that sun sets, you're going to see those temperatures drop a little bit. For those of you who are sensitive to temperatures in the 60s, you may want to think about bringing something like a light jacket. For me, when it gets down to the low 60s, I'm like, oh, it's a little chilly. So, it's something to think about. It's going to warm to start off, and then, the temperatures do drop pretty rapidly once that sun does set. So that's good, right? We like to see that. We don't want it to be too hot out there. Temperatures in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees for the valley today. Temperatures in the mountains north and east, mainly in the 50s and 60s. Now for Trinity County inland, mid to upper 70s, and looks like for the coast, temperatures mid 60s, give or take. Now for tonight, another chilly night. We'll call it upper 40s to about 50 in the valley. It's still 20s and 30s. Now, when I say 20s, that's mainly for parts of Modoc County like El Turis, otherwise mainly in the 30s. Trinity County, low to mid 40s. Mid to upper 40s inland and mid to upper 40s for the coast here for tonight. And that fog is going to return tonight, by the way, especially out in Humboldt County. So for today, a little breezy. Look at the next 7 days. You're still in the valley around 80 degrees through the middle of next week. Then we start to see a dip in our temperatures. That's the sign. That's the first sign of that potential for rain near the end of next week. All right, taking a look at your 7-day forecast for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. It's still dry, right? Upper 50s for the most part for the next 7 days. Inland, you're looking at temperatures in the 70s. There's that dip on Thursday. And then Trinity County, mid to upper 70s. But there's actually a chance for some mountain and inland showers come Thursday. Now, as early as Wednesday, some areas like Mount Shasta, Siskiyou County, Modoc County, even many of the eastern mountains, will see a chance for showers Wednesday. But what's that on Saturday? Isolated showers this weekend for Siskiyou, Modoc County, and in particular Lassen County. We'll take a closer look at that a little bit later. And there you can see for Wednesday, a chance for showers. And then, Thursday, for the most part, probably a chance for showers as well. We're basically looking at chances for mountain afternoon showers starting the middle of next week and probably lasting through the end of next week and even into that next weekend. And then eventually maybe some of those making their way into the valley. Not this weekend, but the weekend after. It's something we'll have to kind of look out for. All right, let's take a look at some of the cameras out there. Lake Oroville, looking at the live stream out there. All right, a look at a fence and some power lines, but off in the distance, nice looking some water here. Let's see what the next image brings us. We'll wait. We got some time. Will we wait? Are we patient enough? I'm going to give it 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, it looks like it's still. I see a bird there frozen in the sky. All right, that's why it's not moving. Take a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. We've got, looks like some nice colors coming up on that sunrise there. Yesterday there were some people rowing, kind of neat. Main Street Chico, Highway 32. Looks like traffic is looking pretty good there. Highway 99 at Neal Road. We've got sunny skies out there this morning. We've got sunny skies in Shasta County, in particular around the Redding area. Here's Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. We take a look at Crescent City. This is Harbor District. Beautiful colors out off in the distance. You gotta love that. We also are taking a look at Elk Country just north of Trinidad. Looks like we've got the clear skies out there this morning as well. So looks pretty darn good this morning. Well, this is Friday. We've got our pet of the week, and I'm going to introduce you to a dog by the name of Bosco. Now, Bosco was already had an owner, a happy owner, but they had some health issues, unfortunately, and they could no longer take care of Bosco. So Bosco has already lived in a home, has that good feeling, and is really good with people. So let's meet Bosco, and maybe this could be your next dog. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. You're watching Pet of the Week. I got Katrina, that is, from Haven Humane Society. Got a little ahead of myself there. And we got Bosco, kind of a friendly guy here, right?
He is. He's the happiest dog in the world, I swear.
And definitely that blue heeler vibe going on here, right?
Yeah, definitely a cattle dog.
Yes.
He is so sweet. He's about 7.5 years old.
Okay.
And we actually do have a bit more of a story on Bosco. He was actually adopted from us about 4 years ago. And he had a great family, but unfortunately they did fall onto some health issues to where they weren't able to keep him anymore. But they said he's a fantastic dog, and we definitely have seen it ourselves. Very smart, much like cattle dogs are. He learns things very quickly. He already knows a lot of tricks. What are you doing, buddy? No one is a stranger to this boy.
Yeah.
He's very happy. He definitely has some energy, but he is a little bit older, and he does need to lose a little bit of weight. So he isn't as high energy as he was in his younger years. But definitely fun energy, loves to play, loves to be around people, really good on the leash. I just think he's overall a really great dog that would do well in most families.
I think so. And I think, maybe with other dogs too, right? You think?
I think he'd prefer to be the only dog.
Oh,
he's kind of bossy.
You're kind of bossy.
He's kind of bossy.
You're kind of spoiled a little bit. Maybe your previous owners were very spoiling.
I think he was king of the castle, and I think that's what he prefers to be.
Yes, you like to lift my leg up for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that. So if you're interested in Bosco or any other animals they have here at Haven Humane Society, be sure to give the number on your screen a call, and they'll take care of you here at Haven Humane. So thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Bosco. Good luck to you. Oh, what a great dog. We'll see you next week for another Pet of the Week. Definitely a lot of fun here, has some great energy, and I just think would make a good addition to the family here. As she said, probably maybe an only dog. Some dogs can get a little jealous, like my dog, so we don't really consider getting another dog because I know she probably wouldn't do very well. She's already having a hard time with the cat. Of course, she's a cattle dog, so she tends to want to round up the cat a lot, and the cat's usually not very happy about that, so what do you do? So, yeah, be sure to give the number and contact Haven Humane Society if you're interested in Bosco. Bosco would love to go home with you. Well, what do you say we get to the forecast here, our deeper dive forecast here, and we start off by mentioning our sponsor of Coffee with Krueger. I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino for their support. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your slots and all of your favorite slots and table games. Temperatures right now are in the upper 40s to about 50 degrees here, 51 degrees for Redding, 49 in Chico. We've got about 32 degrees in El Turris, 36 for Wairika, and 43 degrees right now in Hoopa. So we look at our headlines. We've got dry and warm conditions this weekend. And I say dry because most of us will be. There are a few spots that could see a sprinkle or light shower, and we'll take a closer look at that here in a second. Above normal highs well into next week. But there is going to be kind of overall, when we look at the overall trend, by the middle through the latter part of next week, we're going to start to see better chances for those afternoon showers and even some possible thunderstorms in the mountains, not necessarily the valley. And then, including the valley, there could be some rain near the end of next week. When I say that, sometime around next Friday, maybe into that next weekend. And wouldn't you know, that's just in time for all of our friends coming in for cool April nights. We'll see. Not guaranteed. The long-range forecast models have been kind of going a little back and forth on that, but we'll see. We'll watch it very closely. There's a spinning area of low pressure right here. We got high pressure to our west, bit of a squeeze play, if you will. That's what can help to generate some of the winds that we will see here throughout the day today. But that's mainly going to be the north and west side of the valley and some of the higher elevations and along the coast too. I'll closer look at that a little bit later, but sunny skies here for today. We're not seeing much anything here for the coast, even as we go through the afternoon. Now, by tonight, that fog is expected to return, especially for Humboldt Bay, most of Humboldt County. Just these right here, just clouds in general that are beginning to move in. Now, this is what I was talking about, a little bit of a kink coming in this weekend, because we have this system that looks to be clipping Northern California through the day on Saturday. So, by around midday, we may see a few sprinkles, a light shower, nothing to cancel any outdoor plans over for your Saturday, but you can see maybe a little bit of activity here, right? Then we go into about 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, see a passing shower as a possibility. Once again, it's going to be few and far between. It won't last for very long, and it will be fairly light. So I expect that to mainly be for Saturday for Siskiyou, Modoc County, and Lassen County. Otherwise, everyone else will be dry. We may see some added cloud cover. Still that fog along the coast, by the way. It may be fairly persistent through the day, especially around Humboldt Bay. Now, Sunday morning, still the fog along the coast. We're still dry for everyone else. That fog should dissipate, but look at the afternoon on Sunday. It's picking up on the potential for maybe a chance for a few more showers for parts of, say, Modoc County and maybe even parts of Lassen County as well. Once again, nothing to cancel any outdoor plans over, but I do expect it to be dry across the board here for your Sunday morning. So if you have an Easter egg hunt planned in the morning or even in the early afternoon, don't worry about this, right? Because it won't be until the late afternoon that we may start to see some of that development. Otherwise, everyone else is dry. The coast, inland, most of the mountains, and of course the valley. So just a beautiful day. Now, we talked about those winds, all right? So there's the area of low pressure here, high pressure to our west. Again, this is that squeeze play I was talking about. The closer these two are together, we get what we call a tighter pressure gradients, right? So when they're really close together, you get the stronger winds. When you spread them apart, the winds aren't going to be quite as strong. So right now, they're not very close, but they're close enough that we're going to get a little bit of that north breeze. And typically, we start to see it a little bit more favorable, at least with this event, for the north and west side of the valley. They're not that bad right now, but they should expect to pick up through the morning and into the afternoon hours. A little breezy, I think, for the coast and some of the higher elevations, especially off to the east. But again, they're spreading apart by the time we get into Saturday, so much calmer winds. There's that disturbance that's clipping Northern California. We go into Sunday and we see a little bit of a trough right here. That is, again, that slight potential for Modoc County, maybe seeing a slight shower on Sunday afternoon, but not in the morning. There you can see, of course, that area of high pressure. It's mainly just kind of staying off to our west. So as long as we don't have that ridge of high pressure right on top of us, we should be able to steer clear of those 90s. And that's the case here going through next week. So still dry for Monday, Tuesday, but by Wednesday into Thursday and even Friday, we start to see that potential for some afternoon showers. Now we've got this system right here. This may be strong enough that by Friday evening, Friday night, into Saturday, we may see a chance for showers with this boundary coming through. But it looks like it'd just be Saturday, and then after that, by Sunday, it would start to dry out. That's a long way out, folks, and a lot can happen between now and then. It's something worth watching, but cool April nights, it almost feels as though because the event is planned, and cool April nights historically, a lot of times gets that rain. We'll see. We'll see. It's kind of that, I don't know, some kind of curse or something. I don't know. But there you can see, if we look at the next 10 to 14 days, Climate Prediction Center is picking up about that potential for that rain. And that's why we're in that, barely within that wetter than normal category. What that means is the darker the shade of green, the better the chance of seeing above normal rainfall. The lighter the shade of green, which where we are, the smaller the chance of seeing that above normal rainfall. All right, but we still have that chance in there nonetheless. So you can see the winds a little bit this morning for some of the higher ridge tops, but otherwise fairly calm winds this morning. As we go into the midday, now or through the morning, the winds will start to pick up. But again, notice the north and west side of the valley. Notice Chico. Still a little breezy, not as bad though as say places like Redding or even Willows. Not that bad for the coast. A little breezy off towards the mountains to the east. We go into 6 p.m. This is around the time the Red Bluff Roundup is starting. You'll notice in Red Bluff, 25 miles per hour. This may be overdoing it a bit, but I think as you start the Red Bluff Roundup, it may be a little breezy to start off, but those winds are expected to subside, that is, as we go into tonight. By 10 o'clock tonight, now we're down to about 10, 15 miles per hour. So again, we're starting off around 2025, and then at 25 miles per hour, not 2025 the year. We are in 2025, but we start off with those winds around 20 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour, and then weakening as we go into the evening and overnight hours. Now, for your Saturday, starting off with calm winds. Saturday afternoon, a little breezy for the coast, a little breezy for some of the higher elevations, but not the valley. Sunday morning, Easter egg hunt, looks like you're good. Little breezy out towards Crescent City. We take you into Sunday afternoon, those winds picking up in the eastern mountains. They're picking up along the coast. In fact, pretty strong. You can see around 20 to even over 30 miles per hour, and not that strong for the valley, and there'd be more of that southerly flow of winds. But overall, no major wind events here. Looking at the long range here, the temperature outlook now is showing signs that we may see temperatures get closer to below normal. And taking a look at this, oh, how come it didn't? What happened? Let me take a look at my maps here. Hold on one second, folks, because I wanted to continue to tell that story, but I, for some reason, took a map out that I didn't need to take out. So let's get into that. So we're looking at that map. In fact, let's take you back one here. Once again. All right, so let's kind of start over. So you see the warmer than normal conditions. That's where we are, and that's where we'll be here this weekend and through a good portion of next week. But toward the end of next week, we're getting more in this cooler and near normal category here. So what that means is we may start to see those temperatures begin to drop. Take a look at the 10-day trend for Reading in particular. Right around 80 through Wednesday, but see that dip in the temperatures, especially as we go into Friday and Saturday, and then back in the mid-70s here by the time we get into Sunday. So there's that dip in those temperatures, getting closer to normal for this time of the year. Lake levels, well, there you have it out towards Lake Shasta, Trinity, and Oroville. Now, Trinity has been seeing that dropping a little bit here, unfortunately, but we are still seeing a slight increase in those lake levels for Lake Shasta and Oroville, but still very healthy levels, over 90% in most cases. Now, the wave heights aren't that bad this morning, but they are expected to increase as we go into the afternoon and this evening, and most likely continuing into your Saturday as well. As a result, the National Weather Service has issued a small craft advisory, but that won't take effect until this evening and into tonight. North winds, though, today eventually getting up to about 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're not that strong now, but they will get stronger by the afternoon. There are your waves, there's your high and your low tide for today, and your sunrise and your sunset after 8 o'clock tonight. We're getting those longer days, aren't we? Take a look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s for Highway 299 corridor, around 71 degrees for Trinity Center, Douglas City, about 76. We take a look at that 7-day outlook, and you'll see here we are looking at dry conditions through maybe even Wednesday, but by Thursday, maybe a chance for showers for parts of Trinity County. And down to the south, by the way, we're looking at upper 60s to low 70s in southern Trinity County. All right, let's take you off to southern Humboldt County, your North Coast neighborhood forecast. Looks like in the mid-70s for the Highway 101 corridor there, 71 degrees for Honeydew, and 60 in Shelter Cove. You're dry for Redway all the way through Thursday of next week. We take you out to Ferndale. You're looking at about 64, 68 degrees in Rio Dell, 67 degrees in Fortuna, also dry through next Thursday. Let's take you up to the north. Trinidad, 67, 65 degrees for McKinleyville. Maybe some of the inland areas north, so northern Humboldt County, parts of Delaware County inland, you may see a chance for a few showers on Thursday, and then of course that will probably extend into Friday as well. 72 degrees for Smith River, 70 in Gas Key, and 77 degrees for Orleans. Let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Mid to upper 70s for Highway 96, right around the upper 60s to low 70s for I-5. There's that slight chance for a sprinkle or a light shower, especially around midday Saturday. Otherwise dry through the weekend. Maybe some more showers coming in by next Wednesday. Central Eastern Siskiyou County, 62 degrees for Tennant today, 71 degrees for Dunsmuir at Mount Shasta City, about 68 degrees. For Modoc County, we got those temperatures in the 60s here for today. There's that slight chance for an isolated shower on Saturday, maybe even late in the day Sunday, and then there you can see another chance for showers on Wednesday. We're kind of getting that time of the year where we're beginning to just kind of see some of that afternoon convection. It's warming up through the afternoon, and if we have any moisture to work with, you start seeing showers and thunderstorms begin to develop. So that's one of those things where we've just got to look at the overall moisture content in the atmosphere, and that really gives us that potential for some of those showers to pop up. Bernie, I'm going to keep you dry today. I'm going to keep you dry through Saturday as well, and then most likely it's not until the end of next week that parts of the eastern mountains will start to see some of those showers kicking in. In fact, by Wednesday, Thursday, maybe an afternoon shower. That could continue also for the Chester area as well. We take you down to the south where Paradise, you'll see a high of about 71 degrees today, 62 degrees for Mineral, 55 for Janesville, Kronberg, about 60. So you can see Paradise, you're dry through Thursday, but if you look at Susanville, there's that slight chance for showers coming in, afternoon showers coming in for Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Let's take it out to the southern end of the valley here. There you can see 78 degrees for Orland, 79 for Hamilton City, and 77 degrees for Biggs. Here's your 7-day forecast for Chico, and a little breezy here for today. Hovering around 80 degrees, give or take, through Wednesday. There's that slight dip in the temperatures by the time we get into Thursday. Let's take you up to the north. About 79 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, 80 for Redding, 80 degrees in Anderson, and 76 degrees in Lakehead. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Temperatures, again, hovering around that 80-degree mark through Wednesday, and then temperatures do start to drop here by Thursday. So we do have those chances for showers entering the picture here for even the valley, it looks like, by the end of next week into that next weekend, but there you go. Curtis Brown, you're asking, have you received the photos I have sent? And I'm going to have to answer that with a no, because I did particularly look for those this morning and even yesterday when you had mentioned it. Let me check the system. Did you do it through the app? Because if you did it through the app, it doesn't look like it took. No. The only ones that, and this is coming from Curtis. So let me see here. I've got Brian, I've got Steve, I've got another one from Brian, another one from Brian. I don't have anything from you though, Curtis. So I don't know if you sent it, and I haven't seen anything on social media. If you sent it through there, I haven't seen anything on email. So yeah, I hope everything's working fine with the sharing, because I've used the app several times to send photos and it works great. So I'm not sure what might be happening. So hopefully we can get that resolved. Got a few mornings out there. And good mornings, that is, here coming from Ann and Catherine. Good morning to you. Curtis saying good morning. Of course, we were just kind of talking about you. And good morning from Ruth Sanchez as well. Well, we were looking at the 7-day forecast. We were talking about that, but there you have it. That is your Friday forecast. I'm hoping everyone's having a great day so far and is having a great morning. Of course, it's Good Friday, right? So it should be a good Friday, right? But of course, that's for religious reasons. Don't mind the dog next door. Man, they got a new dog and it likes to bark. You hear that? That's the beauty of having these home studios, folks. My neighbors have a noisy dog. Gotta love it. If you're watching, neighbor, maybe bring the dog inside during at least coffee with Krueger. I don't know. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. The reality of it all. So, Curtis, you did say you did it from the app. Are you on an iPhone or an Android? Because, you know, if it's an Android, maybe we've got a problem. I don't have an Android where I can kind of test it myself. So, I'd be curious if it's an Android or an iPhone. If it's an iPhone, it should be working. Android, I don't know, because I've never tried it. We got Ann saying hello again with her coffee. Good, good. I love it. I love it. I love the hellos. I love the good mornings. I love the activity. Well, that's going to wrap it up, folks. Let's get ready for your Friday. The Friday is, because Friday is here. Friday is here, and we're getting ready for a weekend, and lots of great events going on this weekend, and already starting with the Red Bluff Roundup here coming in this evening. Curtis, you're saying I'm probably doing something wrong on my end. Well, we'll see. I don't like to put any blame or say anybody's not doing anything correctly. Oh, it's just a shadow. It looks like some kind of weird thing going on there. All right, just checking my eye. There's nothing wrong. It's just some kind of weird shadow. Oh, you gotta love getting all the saggy skin. All right, there you go. So yes, Curtis, I hope everything will be just fine. Terry, my buddy Terry, saying at 8:30 maybe he wants to go for a run. I'd love to go for a run at 8:30 this morning. He's a buddy of mine, but I don't think he ever watches. I don't blame him. Friday. Today is Friday. Woohoo! Let's get ready for the weekend. Of course, as I mentioned, the Red Bluff Roundup this evening. We got the Red Bluff Roundup Saturday, Sunday. If you don't have your tickets, be sure to get them as soon as you can. I do believe tonight's sold out. And Saturday, I think there might be some tickets available. Sunday might be a hard one. That's a wild ride. So check that out. And Easter egg hunts, you're going to be in good shape here. Just, we'll keep a close eye on that radar for you should anything develop here tomorrow or Sunday. But that Sunday morning, I think everyone's going to be in good shape. Well, that's going to do it, folks. Have yourselves a great Friday. Have an even better weekend, and we will see you. Of course, don't forget, I've got more updates at noon and again this evening. But Chase Wilson will be in this weekend for your updates for Saturday and Sunday. I'll be back here on Coffee with Krueger starting bright and early in the morning at 6:30. Until then, have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you the rest of the day and, of course, this Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Easter as well.
Thank you.